Okay, we have some guests here. One has come all the way from Lucknow. Yeah, Lucknow. And the other person has come from Bangalore. I'll introduce my friends here. I'm going to give a very informal introduction because this guy here, Debjit, is a big shot now in the corporate world, doing some CSR or something like that with some Aditya Birla group. But I know him from the college days, so I know that he is a fantastic theater artist. और इतना अच्छा नौटंकी करता है कि क्या बताएं. So that's Debjit for you. He has actually worked in the field and risen from the ranks and come to the space of CSR where he found his heart. That's how I know Debjit. And बाकी पढ़ने वाला है, you can read about him on the various online platforms. Then we have Abey here, and I'm going to tell you another secret about Abey. This guy here is a fantastic singer. सुने क्या? And a brilliant brain in the technical space. He has initiated, he was a part of the founding team of something called Red Bus, which is a revolution in the Indian travel space. He's post that he's also started being a founder in various other organizations like Good Box and others. And now he works for the government, with the government, but not the government, because that's what he introduced himself yesterday, to create change in a very innovative fashion. And he works in the space of technology innovation for social, for the masses actually. So I hope that we will have a good interaction for all of you to listen and also ideate. How are you guys going to think about it in future? Yeah? So I'll do is I'll let them talk for around 5 minutes about themselves, and then I have a few questions which is pertinent for the audience here. And I will then open the house for all of you to put up your questions. Yeah? And feel free, these guys are chilled guys. Must question पूछ सकते हो. I can assure you, no question is going to be silly for them. This guy has asked serious questions in the class and got away with it. Yeah? So here you go, Debjit. I'll call you first to just give your thoughts around.
Okay, hi. I am Debjit. And as he introduced me as a theater artist, a big nautanki, he didn't tell that he was the director and the script writer. Anyways, it's even now. So, yes, I started my journey. We both were a college student in a rural management, and that Orissa government was very, serious about this thing. We joined here and we thought that, no, we'll switch and we'll move to corporate. They said, no, you work for NGOs. Or else you go for CSR. We will not let you loiter here and there and make money from this corporate. So he started his entrepreneur journey, and I started working with Birla Group. Initially, I was working for the financial literacy vertical. In 2013, I moved to, not 2013, basically we started our CSR in 2013, but by 2016, I was officially moved to CSR, and we were actually building the vertical CSR vertical right as per the new government, directives. It's the 2013 law, which says that 2% of the net operating profit goes to development work and the real work as per the Schedule 7 of the Corporate Act. Okay. So for those who are new to CSR, you can Google it out. What is CSR? Why we are CSR is serious, and how it will make a difference. It will definitely make a difference because India is 4.25 trillion economy and it will double in next 10 years. It will be a big economy which will be funded by the corporates, and definitely the 2% of that corporate profits will make change. So how you are prepared, how innovative you are to bring that fund for the change of the Northeast is the challenge for you. And today I throw this challenge that how you will collaborate with people like me in future, how you will directly reach, how you will directly approach, that I have an idea, you come here, you just trust me, and I will bring change. How many of you want to be an innovator? Anybody who want to be an innovator? Well, the front benchers have already ventured into this journey. What about these students who want to be an innovator? Because you don't have choice, okay? You have to be an innovator. You don't have much choices. India has to be an innovator. India has been a copycat for a long time. We've been working for Facebook, we have been working for Google. No, it won't work now. You have to come up with new ideas. You have to bring something which we are good at. What we are good at, you have to identify. How many of you know about the inventor of the blue LED, Suji Nakamura? I don't blame you, I didn't know. Because everybody is moving, everybody is using the LED display. He got the Nobel Prize in 2014 for the invention and commercial viability of the blue LED. What is blue LED? There were two LEDs, red, green. There was no blue LED for 30 years. It was very difficult. So Suji Nakamura toiled under the one lab in Philippines for 20 years to find out how he can make a blue LED. And from that invention took him 10 years to make it commercial viable. And today everybody is using this. Nobody knows his name, but he is heavily compensated for his invention. He is a Nobel Prize winner, and I don't know how much money he's making from IPRs. So don't worry about the money. Money will come, but you have to come with hard work and innovation. And that's where we are there to motivate you. You come up with the ideas. We are there to support you. You reach out to us. You reach out to IIT guys. You reach out to IIT Guwahati. You come up with an idea, you document it, you publish it. Make a magazine for Don Bosco which publishes innovations. Always document your work, okay? Make a habit, whatever you work, you document it. So nobody can copy that. You are the owner and you will be the owner always because you have the right to challenge. There are I give you an Indian example also. There is a man who is making, there's a food industry, how it has changed. The food industry is now a mobile food industry, like you have, food carts. How many of you are eating outside in the food carts? So, it's cheaper, and sometimes the chef is better than the restaurant guy. And a trained chef, he can give you a good pizza better than Domino's. So, you wonder that from where these food carts are coming. These food carts are locally manufactured. So you come with a truck, he will assemble it. You come with a cart. Mostly the cart is also now manufactured by the same guy. If it is a push cart, it is very cheap. But how many of you know the manufacturing comes to be between 40 to 80,000, and they charge heavily. They charge 1 lakh to 1.5 lakhs for the installation. If it's a heavier vehicle, the cost goes even higher. So an average food truck costs something around 8 lakh to 12 lakh, and an average food cart costs something around 1.25 to 1.5 lakhs. But the manufacturing cost is not more than 45,000. So if you are a social innovator, you come up with an idea, you come up with a chain of, entrepreneurs, or you are a chain of people who want to work in this sector. You can learn how to make these cards. This is one example. Why I'm telling you? Because I know a guy who is doing it in Lucknow, probably because Ayodhya will be a big market in future, and it has already started becoming. So there can be certain other things you can identify from your local area. So every time you have to think that what we have heard about the three C's and the MRF of any innovation you do is that there should be what is the similarity between CSR and innovation? Okay, what we do is we change lives. Our concept is bettering lives. Okay, that is the concept of innovation also. Anything which betters lives, which change lives is an innovation. So you come up with an idea, you approach to us, you write or you get things published, and definitely the corporates will come in. It's just that the story has not been sold so far. That's the only difference I can say. And I continue with you.
Thank you, Debjit. Interesting, because I am listening to him as a corporate man after a long period of time. So there's a lot of very varied thoughts that are coming. Abey, I would like to bring to the forum your thoughts around innovation, and specifically because you're working with the government, how is the government thinking about innovation? What are the spaces that government is also innovating in? Your thoughts around that, yeah.
Yeah, hi. So I have a couple of questions before I can go to the next step, okay? So how many of you have, who has heard of ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce? 1, 2, 3, few. No, the students especially.
ONDC, how many of you have heard of ONDC?
Students especially. How many of you have mobile phones? Students. No mobile phones? You don't have mobile phones?
Mobile phones?
No, that section doesn't have mobile phones. No mobile phones there. How many of you have Twitter accounts? Okay, few have. Social media, say Instagram, how many? A lot of them. So what I'm trying to say is that our topic is innovation from government to private sector. A lot of innovation is happening out there, but a lot of you will not be aware of it because you are not connected to the right thing. So we may be using our mobile phones for Instagram reels, but trust me, there is a lot of information. You are not very far away from knowing every bit of stuff happening out there, as close as a Bangalore guy or a Delhi guy. Okay, a lot of things are happening, and many times we are ignorant because we are not plugged into the right channel, and we are not spending our time on listening to that. So let me first touch upon few things which are at population scale helping India go forward. So all of you must have heard of Aadhaar, UPI, okay. So these two are very good examples of what has really worked in innovation from the backing of, to some extent, private plus government sector. Because the idea of an Aadhaar came from something called as India Stack, right? So there's a bunch of guys who thought about something, they collaborated with the government and worked with them to launch Aadhaar and UPI, etc. And what this does is it changes how we operate. For instance, if a farmer is there in a remote place and he is selling some produce which he wants to sell to a distributor in, say, Guwahati, right? How was it happening before innovation came in that space? You needed to contact a local guy who would give you cash back. You have to have hard cash, right? Yesterday I went nearby and bought a samosa and I was able to pay with UPI. So you can pay remotely sitting here to a farmer somewhere on the outskirts. That is innovation, right? That's innovation at population scale. So that's happened with something like an UPI. With Aadhaar, what has happened is you are able to give microfinance lending to a farmer sitting somewhere else and backed by various government grants, etc., right? These are available out there and many of us are not even aware of that such things exist. Like I remember in my college days, I must have studied what is VC and venture capital, but I was really not aware of what it actually is, how it works, until much later, right? So these things are there in your textbook, but you have to really go down and listen to some of those things and learn what's happening. Now coming back to open network of ONDC, for instance, I would like to talk a little bit about that. What the government is trying to do is it's formed a Section 8 company, which is a not-for-profit company funded by all the big banks, etc. And what it's trying to do is, at 2-3 levels it's trying to work. One is at the existing e-commerce level, which is your food delivery, grocery delivery, wherever what's happening. Apart from that, it goes deep down to places like Tanjore and stuff, and enabling a local seller to digitize their produce. Like I saw some very nice scarf out there yesterday. You could potentially take a photo of that and be available on Amazon, Flipkart. That's one side of it, which is a private network, but also on, say, Paytm, PIN code, etc. On the other side. So some of these innovations are happening. Government is investing into this. Also, the private sector is putting their might behind it. So you guys have heard of Walmart, right? So PhonePe is a Walmart company, and they are investing hundreds of crores of rupees into the ONDC project. So that you get a distribution. So at the end of the spectrum, you have eyeballs, and you have, in between, you have distribution, and on the other side, your production. So the production, the gap between producer and the person who is buying is being bridged by these technological pipes, so to say, right? So you should really be aware of that. And a lot of this is happening. Happy to engage separately with people. And another thing about connection is there are enough people out there willing to help you people. You have to reach out and take that help. Next few years, you have to learn what's going around you, and then probably decide what exactly you want to do. May not be day one you have to innovate. First is still maybe many more years, and learning is a constant process, and that continues, right? That's broadly what I wanted to say.
That's beautiful, actually. One of the things that this space gives you is also to look at, when I'm talking of this space, I'm talking of Confluence, and all of you as Confluence, and all those people who are listening to us online right now, they also being the Confluencers. What I'm going to ask you now is a little futuristic. You've been in the space. You are looking at various technologies. You're looking at various initiatives taken by CSRs. What is the future talking about? What are the elements that the may it be technological or social, that there is some interest of the government, of the corporates to invest in? Where is the future? So I'll put it to Abey first, and then to Debjit. Abey, what are we looking at? 5 years, 10 years down the line, short term, long term?
See, what's already happening out there is platforms are creating private networks, so if you look at, I think Amazon has something called as, I forget the name, which works at grassroots levels with artisans, and their produce is even sent abroad, right? So those, Karigar, right? So that's a private pipe. What, say, ONDC tries to do is, how do you connect a local person to go sell it online on their own, across many networks. So it's a big challenge there is an aggregation model right now, because first somebody has to pull from the villages, aggregates it in, say, Guwahati or something, and then sends it to Bangalore's of the world, where the larger consuming population is right now. And so the challenge is to get the people at the ground level to participate in the digital revolution directly. So I think that's something, if we can pull it off, that'll be a really good thing.
Beautifully put, actually. So working in the field, we have also realized that putting it on the internet is easy, relatively easy, but getting it from the villages to their centers and then to the customer's home, that's the real challenge, and the value chain. And that's the gap that young people have to also look at, that how can we fill these gaps. a lot of aggregators, women, I know some of you in this room are working with weavers, you're working with producers. How do we aggregate that to make sure that we become the channel between the market and the... So thank you on that, and I see a big future element in it. Debjit, your thoughts around, specifically in the social space, what are the, CSR, what are the future?
See, CSR has been doing work for social as well as rural sector, and over the period of time we have changed from a philanthropic CSR to a value-based and a CSR which showcase our India to the foreign. How we are doing it is that our current CSR model is quite based on the ESG parameters. You must have heard about the ESG parameters, which is your environment and social governance. So sustainable and governance, you can say environment and social governance also. So there are three aspects of an industry. First is that I am working as an industry, making money from the community. I am responsible for the environment. I am responsible for the climate. I am responsible for the water I am using. I am responsible for the paper I am consuming. I am responsible for the energy I am responsible. So CSR is my duty. It is not any obligation, first of all, okay? It's my duty. ESG, my focus on ESG is my duty. And foreign players, foreign investors are very serious about it. There's a new guideline which says, as per SEBI, which says that every 1,000 companies, top 1,000 companies of India have to report, which is called BRSR report, Business Responsibility and Sustainable Reporting. What it is, it totally asks you 9 questions regarding your ESG parameters, 3 each. And the governance comes last. Why? Because chartered accountants are there, many regulators are there. They are looking after the governance, but the other two, the first two, the social and the environment part has been ignored for the past. But now, after this, pressure from the international level, so this CSR will definitely get merged with ESG, and almost in most of the big corporates, they have merged CSR and ESG are, a part of the same management, and the same board of directors control them. So this is the new thing. If you have ideas which can change, we can bring innovation to the climate change, the carbon, footprints, reducing carbon footprints. That is the most welcome. Secondly, there are the changes you want to bring in diversity, where the role of gender can be improved in terms of agriculture. Now why I say agriculture is that if you see the GDP growth of our country over the last 5 years, the rural GDP beats the urban GDP, okay? This figure is out, but nobody speaks about it. Why? Because it takes pain to do the infrastructure development in the rural areas. But that is where the potential is. So the role of women in agriculture has to change. And definitely the ownership, the ownership of women, the gender part in the women has been ignored. The land ownership rights will change, and definitely it's one of the agenda of the government. So you said the Transfer of Property Acts, there will be a change. So there's a lot of change which will come, and you have to come up with ideas where we have a role to play. Say, for example, I was discussing one day with Anirban, and he said that very few farm equipments are designed on the basis of how women can do farming, okay? The favlas are bigger in size, what we say, and the spade and all. So I never thought of this. And I said, yes, then we worked on this part, and we also are working with certain organizations who are working with this agriculture. So I gave them this idea that you come up with a plan where this part has been ignored for a long time. So these are the changes that if you are able to help us in bringing our responsibility in a better manner, if we showcase your work in a better manner to the foreign funds, they will definitely invest in us, and it's a win-win proposal for all. We are reducing climate hazards. We are improving quality of lives. So India stands to be a sweet spot where the world is looking for us to give them ideas where they can pour in, funds, and where we can, globally we can make a change. Like say yoga. Yoga has made changes not only in India, globally it has created impact. So there are various things you can come up with us, which are in tune with our CSR goals of the ESG, and we will definitely come forward. That is what only my view is.
Yeah. In fact, this is an off the panel discussion that we had, where he talked about actually also the corporates and the CSRs are looking for projects which are really different, and it is bringing about an impact which actually leads to some extent their looking at their businesses, but also leading to changes such that there is over a period of time it will affect all the businesses, or all the pie becomes bigger in the larger sense. But so now I would open the house for questions from the people, and there are already hands up. So can we have a mic there?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My question is for CSR. So the first question is, what are the challenges of the CSR organizations across India? So specific. Okay.
What is the challenges for the CSR and?
CSR, especially for the Aditya Birla, and also at the same time at a larger scale in across India, what are the challenges they face? And the second question is that what is that you look into the NGOs while considering for a grant proposal, be it from the compliance segment or the project part? And the third question is, what kind of services do you outsource? And before you answer, I'll just introduce myself. I am running a startup called Impact Weaver, and we are basically a digital platform for connecting NGOs, CSR, government, and other donors. Along with it, we are also providing other services where it's like digital presence, compliance management, and all. So I would like to hear more about the challenges, and if you can get into the nuances of it. Thank you.
A very good question. And all the three questions are well crafted. Because the challenges of the first question will answer to the solution for the last question. Is that first of the challenges for us is that a proposal may be a good proposal, but the concept was not sold properly. An NGO can come up with a good proposal, but maybe he missed out some points while compiling the proposal report, and we have a very limited time when we meet our board of directors, because they are the profit guys, okay? They are there for making money, and they're hired for that. They are there for making the organization to a next level, to doubling the profits, improving the geographies, and setting the distribution network, increasing the share value. Then comes CSR, okay, this is also there, this is also responsibility. So when we go and pitch your proposal, we have a very limited time. So the concept should be innovative, it should be crispy, the finance should be as per the guidelines which are generally accepted by corporates, okay? So there can be 100% budget allocation where out of 100%, 60% goes into training. Corporates will not go for that plan, okay? Training part, you have to reduce. You have to give something to the society. So there should be an infrastructure part. There should be a training part. This is a very small time frame to explain it, but definitely if you want me, I can give you the whole presentation is there, that how to pitch to corporates. See, it's like a selling proposition. Huh? You represent a community. You have to sell your concept to us in a very limited time frame. Second, once we accept your proposal and fund you, we will be like corporate guys. Sorry for that. We'll ask you a number of questions because we are responsible for whatever money we are paying you. We will seek multiple reports from you, or maybe we will come to visit your place where you will be slightly uncomfortable because you have a different method of working. We will preach you in doing this and that. So that kind of adjustment takes time. So it's a difficult thing. I always I have to speak to my boss who cannot move from Mumbai, and for him every NGO is, he's not satisfied. I said, no, he's okay. He's not reporting on time. I said, he'll report. Give him 2 days. And they do it, because they might be having their, field person in the field during that time where there is no internet. That guy would come back to Bangalore and then only he will be able to report. So we bridge that gap. That's a difficult thing, but that is the part which slowly the corporate heads are understanding. And because we are actually, the professional CSR is very new. If you say that in 2013, nobody started in 2013, everybody started by 2015. So we are only 9 years old kid, okay? So we are also developing, we are also grooming ourselves. So there has to be identification between a good organization and not so good organization. Future there will be listing of organization in the stock exchange, what Jyotsna madam was telling. So the good organizations has to get themselves listed in National Stock Exchange, and we are talking about social bonds and lot of other things are coming. And what was your third part? What kind of services we outsource? Okay. See, most of the CSR till 2013 was, plant. We were working in the vicinity of our plant. Now the geography is open, and most of the companies who are doing CSR are like banks who have multiple networks across India. There will be foreign companies coming to India. There will be foreign partners to these banks who would not like to work in one specific geography. They would say, why not Northeast? They've already started asking question. Why not Northeast? So who is there in Northeast? I don't know. Who are the good organization in Northeast? There should be a conclave and there should be a database where we come up with an organization. I Google it, I come up with a list of organizations who are doing significant work. And definitely outsourcing is there. This whole of the CSR, the modern CSR is whole outsourced. The plant-based CSR where we were hiring our own people, and there are a lot of issues in that I won't discuss here. So that will go. We will have to work with NGOs, good NGOs. That is the thing which will happen, and that is the thing which has already started happening. So you are there in the picture. You won't be, we will not have our field force and working. That model doesn't work. Tomorrow the profit is less. I cannot fire somebody. So if the profit is reduced, what I will do is I will relocate my funds. एक एनजीओ को 1 साल पैसा नहीं देंगे, बोलेंगे अभी तुमको भाई दूसरी कंपनी से दिलवा देते हैं, इधर का प्रॉफिट थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो रहा है, तुम ग्रासिम से ले लो. But for my person, he is working as a field. I cannot fire him because profits have reduced. मेरा profit कम हो गया है तो मैं team हटा दूंगा. That we cannot do. So we will rely on you. Is that you come up what you work and document it, so that somebody sitting in Mumbai through any platform where you can showcase your work. This is a platform where you can showcase your work, and this guy is the best person who can help you to bridge the gap between the corporates and the organizations who definitely want to sell your product, improve the sales of your farmers or whatever work you do. So that kind of bridge is required in that. That's it.
अब मुझे समझ में आया, ये इतना एक बार मैंने बोला था और एक बार मैं मान गया कि मुझे नॉर्थ ईस्ट आना है, इसको भी इधर पे काम करना है. So yeah, some question.
Okay, this is something again different regarding to the CSR. Like I just wanted to know, for example, it is for the betterment of the community. You devote a % of your profit for the development of the communities, which can be a model, which can be put into the policy level for the bigger change, where we create these models. Now also the other side, if we look at, for example, you said that there will be some corporate interest also in doing all kind of things. For example, I'll just give a like blunt, practical example which happened in Assam and Northeast, thanks to the court where it is now stopped. For example, Ruchi coming in to the Northeast, and through the CSR, making it very mandatory that we are going for plantation, and you go for plantation of palm oils. So it is like whole CSR is so mandatory that, okay, we will get, small NGOs get like encouraged ki we are getting connect from the Ruchi CSR. And there is a directive there that, okay, aapko itana oil palm plants lagana hai. If your bamboo is the highest carbon trapping crop, the CSR is not available for planting bamboos, but there is a directive that you grow more palm oil there. Because they need again, वही 2% खर्च करके, फिर they are making their production zone. So So is there any kind, I just wanted to know that is the CSRs are also guided by some regulations?
This is, hello? No, this is not CSR is all about. CSR is not about taking the advantage of working in the geography, and especially we cannot dictate terms, okay? That is how the CSR should be. Those who are doing in the other way, they can do it in the other way. But CSR is all about giving the local advantage, giving the local person the local advantage, not my industry advantage should enter into. So if Assam is famous for tea, let it be famous for tea. Let it not be, you know, compromised with palm oil and other things. So we have a different mindset. Every organization has a different mindset. There will be CSR who will be working in dairy technology just so that their, you know, milk collection can be better. But that is not how big organization, big corporates, those who are visible to the world work. Because we again have somebody sitting in New York asking questions. What is this? This is not ESG. So at least you can focus your work to all the listed entities. All the entities which are showcasing their work in there. There's you find, you Google it. You click TCS sustainability report, TCS ESG report. You will find so many things. They have disclosed it. They have to disclose it. You click Infosys sustainability report or Infosys ESG report, you will find what they are doing it, because that is the future of what it is. I mean, in future, if you seek funds from foreign, and many of you have heard about MSCI index. It's the Morgan & Stanley Sustainable Index. It lists the companies who are doing good work, and funds, the hedge funds across entire the world, they automatically get invested. So if any organization's name comes in MSCI index, the next day the stock market will show a 10% rise of that stock, because everybody knows that from that month onward, that particular company, funds will automatically, the shares of that funds will be automatically bought by somebody sitting in some country. So that is how the world is collaborating. So that is what we were talking about, collaborating. So this whole thing is about collaboration. How you can collaborate your work so that, you know, somebody sitting in New York, somebody sitting in Washington, somebody sitting in, say, Singapore can, you know, visualize your work and work on it and make a great change. So this is how you should see. There will be stories where you get sometimes, you know, demotivated, but be positive. There are organizations who are doing good work also.
Hello, sir. So my name is Anirban Bora. I am pursuing Masters in Social Work in Bosco Institute. So my question is I have two questions. So my question is for Abey, sir. So first one is, how do you see ONDC contributing to the growth of small and medium-sized enterprise in this digital commerce landscape? And the second one is, what are the key technological trends in 21st century that ONDC specialists should stay updated on to ensure the success of digital commerce initiatives?
The first one was how the So I was actually checking internally because I am not always the right person who's working in social sector. So there's something called TriFed, right? So TriFed. So ONDC is associated with TriFed. So they are working with them to ensure that, the handicraft items at the grassroots level is getting sold on network. It is not easy because the eyeballs are not easy to get. Currently it is working with a lot of government emporiums, for instance. Okay, so there is that's another channel with which ONDC is working to bring the items from there and getting sold on the network. It's still work in progress. ONDC is just 1 year old, right? So that is where it's largely right now. And on the technology, what in future what I see will be useful is more of this social media selling. We expect some of the video commerce to come in and kick in, and how we can generate orders on WhatsApp, for instance, right? WhatsApp sales. So there was a platform called Meesho which used to do it very well. How can we replicate something like that? So these are all still very early stage, just a year-old company with, it's come quite a long way, but a long way to go. So over the next few years we will get to know, but currently these are the things on my mind.
Whatever I could gather, so few points I just would like to highlight in the context of Northeast and the initiative being taken there. I thought it was important, so I see the Northeast is known for its diversity and variety, and your designs are very different. Even in a village, you prepare a lungi, whatever wrapper, the designs are different. That's how you have thrived basically. Yeah. So when it is taken to the market, the volume counts, standardization counts. Yeah. So given that even for the IT sector, marketing sector, it's very, very important to create the niche value. Lesser amount, I will give the example of Lakadong turmeric. Yeah. So Lakadong, it has got the highest curcumin content. Yeah. Now it's in Meghalaya, Lakadong village. So now I used to work in a project, then we promoted the capsule of curcumin powder. Yeah. So given that now you sell that as the, it's in a very priced way. So that has to be the market strategy to market the niche product of Northeast. Because as you move on with skills and standardization, then, someone would be wanting the wrapper of the same to a big volume. But may not be possible. And one was talking about the logistics. Yeah. To get an app and get advertisement is fine. But if someone wants a product of so much of amount with so much this design, so who will arrange the whole value chain? Logistic. So that part also it's very, very important. Another part I just wanted to tell is, one is the type of, you're going a niche product, niche value. Now, here the question comes, will CSR fund the research part of it to create the niche value chain? Yeah, because there the ingredients which is inside that, component that needs to be, that needs to be marketed to have that price organized in the market. So, when you invest in the CSR part, Northeast needs that type of research. I'm giving example of the Lakadong turmeric. Okay. Another part is that, now many of your traditional wrappers, whatever costume, it is very good. I'll give example of Maheshwari sari. It's very famous silk sari of Madhya Pradesh. Now, but they are now slowly converting the fabric mix to yardage. Because it's only the yardage which is getting marketed in bulk to some, big companies to make the, good fibers organized into some type of shirts, whatever, yeah. So these are the type of markets, these type of products that needs to be developed to get on with whatever IT can help us. IT platform is neutral, but how we embanked on it in terms of doing product research, in terms of getting our marketing organized, in terms of getting our product moduled in such a manner that will attract more, investment. I think that would be a major challenge also and a great opportunity also for all of us Northeast people. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll just, if you can please take this question off the stage. I am very happy that I am in a position here that I have to stop questions. And so please keep doing it. For all the panels, I know we have run over time, but this is the time that we are investing in all the young minds here. So thank you. Thank you for giving your time, and thank you, everybody.